Well, when I first came to Mar Park, I was just, overwhelmed. I thought, what a beautiful property. And I wanted to get out and just enjoy my surroundings here. But it's tempting to enjoy your surroundings and not really get the job done. So I had to really focus on getting my work crew out and doing the physical part of the survey that we needed to complete for the city. This project started when the city was awarded a grant, a Land and Water Conservation Fund grant. And in order to receive those federal funds, the city had to comply with the National Historic Preservation Act. That says that they have to identify any properties, any cultural properties that may be eligible for listing on the National Register of Historic Places. The city made a decision to go ahead and have an archaeological survey completed for the entire park. And so I think that was a good choice. This will enable them in the future not to have a separate survey done for each little parcel where they're going to do possible, federally funded projects. One of the things that we do in an archaeological survey like this is we do some research to try to see, for instance, if there are nearby archaeological sites that might give us an indicator of what we would find here. It's a fairly standardized process for archaeologists doing a survey, what we call a phase one survey, because this is just how we start out to identify what's out there. What we have to do is define the boundaries and also look at the types of artifacts that we might find in the ground to better describe the site. And what we did out here and are doing is we go in each of the 4 cardinal directions from the center of the site, and we dig our shovel test units, and these are just 14 inches deep maybe down to subsoil. We take that material, we screen it. We put it through a mesh, and we see what's in the ground as far as cultural materials. And when we have 2 negative shovel tests, we know that we are probably at the boundary of the site, and that's how we define it. So here at Mar Park, we had an indication from a couple of different informants, we call them informants, that of course, and it's obvious when you get here that there is a house that once stood here that's long since been demolished. And so we knew that since this obviously is over 50 years old, we were told that it was not standing in the 60s, that we'd have to actually record this as an archaeological site. What actually determines a site can vary from place to place. And in the state of Kentucky, the requirement is that it be 50 years old or older, and that you find a certain number of artifacts in one place. And this would be an indicator of some human activity that would need to be recorded as a site. This place was used sporadically on weekends for folks to come up here for recreational purposes. And so we didn't really find a lot of the things that are typical of historic sites. I think it's important for folks, and particularly children, to really have an understanding about how these places were used. And when they come across this pad, for them to understand what this represents and what happened here. Because this park has the potential to just be a tremendous plus in educating particularly our children about the natural wonders around us, conservation in general, stewardship in particular. All these values that really should be passed on to them. And they can come to a place like this and become inspired.